I caught up with an old friend and she was telling me that she got divorced. And I was so surprised because her and her husband were such a cute couple and they had been together for 11 years. So I asked her, like, what happened? I figured something bad happened. She's like, honestly, I was just bored. Like, my husband, all he did was work. I was a stay-at-home mom. We had 3 kids and I just got lonely and bored.
Blessings to you all. We have a situation here where you have a woman who didn't realize how good she had it. She had a man that was such a good provider that he was able to make enough money that she didn't have to work. She could be a stay-at-home mom. But she will soon find out that men on the caliber of her husband are hard to find. While women looking for the type of men that have the qualities that her ex-husband had are in abundance.
And she says that when she would bring it up, like, he would take her out, but it was just boring to her. Like, she needed some excitement in her life. She just felt like she was just a mom and a wife, and her husband just wasn't doing that for her. And
you can actually chronicle the decline of our culture. And when our culture was at its strongest, women strived to be wives and mothers. That's when they were the most satisfied with their lives. Then at some point, their marriage rates started to drop and women became just girlfriends. Now we're at a point now, the society and our culture has declined to the point where women are striving to be side pieces. And that is not the natural nature of what a woman was designed to be, as evidenced by the amount of unhappy women nowadays, the amount of women that are single up into their 30s, 40s, 50s, never married, never had any children, and also the amount of antidepressants that are being prescribed and overprescribed to these modern women. Having an overabundance of choices doesn't necessarily lead to happiness in your life.
she had other friends that had, boyfriends, or like they had just got married, and they were always going out, always going on vacation, always partying, like going to the club, going to the bar, hanging out with friends, and they did none of that. And when she would bring it up to her husband would always tell her, like, I gotta work. Like, they had a big house, they had nice things, like he was just trying to work. So
I'm a strong believer, if you're married, have married friends. A married person should not be hanging out with single people, because what single people are going to do is try to drag you into that single life.
they ended up getting divorced, and now, she's single, she lives alone, she's working, and she's dating. So then I told her, oh, well, that must be exciting, like dating and stuff. And she's like, no, I fucking hate it. And I was like, why? And she's like, because all they want to do is just have fun. They just want to go to the club. They just want to go to the bar. They just want to hang out, have a good time, and then that's it. She said, no one wants to help me out. Like, I'm trying to find someone that's going to help take care of my kids. She's like, I just want someone to be a provider, not just a good time. So I was all like, well, wasn't that what your husband was doing? And she's like, I know.
Now, this woman found out real fast the treasure she had in her husband. A man who's a provider, a man who's a protector. That is hard to find. A bunch of men who want to sleep with you, you can shake a stick and hit one. There's a bunch of men who want to sleep with you, but do they really want to take you seriously? And that's what I'm saying. A lot of times women have turned themselves into side pieces. Because trust me, those men talking to you, those men hitting on you, they probably got wives. They probably got girlfriends. They probably got 6 women they're talking to, and they're just going to put you in on the rotation. And also, like I said, married people should have married friends. That woman needs to be careful with the friends she keeps, because it's quite possible that those single friends saw what a winner her husband was and probably wanted to sabotage her relationship with her husband. Single people want to keep you single.
I know. And I guess now her ex-husband is dating someone, like, seriously. They have been divorced for a total of 3 years, and he has been dating this girl for 2 years. She has 2 kids, and they're already living together. She says that he's fully taking care of her. Like, the girl doesn't work, mom, they haven't had any new kids, but they're planning on having kids. And she's pissed, because she's like, how can he move on so fast? Like, I can't even find nobody, and he just found someone so quick.
It's unfortunate that this woman didn't realize what she had in her husband. This man was a provider and a protector, which makes him very attractive to women. So it doesn't surprise me that he got a girlfriend right away. Of course, his attributes and his nature is very attractive to women looking for long-term relationships. What this wife figured out was, yes, there's a lot of men who want to have sex with her, but do they really want a relationship with her? And again, is it a woman's nature to be a side piece? Once she realized that there's a bunch of men out there who want to have sex with her, and I'm sure she enjoyed the initial burst of attention she was getting, she realized, is that really what I want? Am I satisfied with that? No, she wasn't. She should have stayed in her marriage and made it work, and she would have been much happier and much more satisfied and content in her life instead of just riding the carousel and having a bunch of short-term sexual flings with random men.
And he didn't even want to give us another try, like blah, blah, blah. And I was so confused because I was like, okay, so you divorced him because he was always working and you were bored. So now you are single, going out, having a good time, dating, but you don't like that. Now you want someone to take care of you, a provider. And your ex-husband, all he wanted to do was be a provider. That's why now he is dating someone who he has no problem providing for her and her kids. And she's pissed because she's like, why would he go and find someone who has kids? Like, he already has kids. Why would he want to take on that responsibility? And I'm like, wait, aren't you looking for someone to take on that responsibility? I was just giving her a hard time, not gonna lie, because it was kind of funny to me, because I was like, I could tell that she regretted her decision. I could tell.
You know, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. You should always be grateful that you have a man that loves you, that has the ability to provide for you, and you're able to stay at home, be a stay-at-home mom. Okay, maybe the relationship needed a little more spice, so spice it up. But don't just throw the relationship away, because look at you now. Now you're on the outside looking in at another woman enjoying the relationship that you now wish you had. You know, a good man who's a provider, who loves you, who's faithful to you, that man is worth his weight in gold, ladies. There's not a lot of guys out there who are like that. So when you got a good man like that, work on the relationship. Don't just throw him away, because you'll be surprised. One woman's garbage is another woman's treasure. Thanks for listening. God bless. Peace.